Okay guys, Scott with Heritage Farms, Friday afternoon, about 5 o'clock. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Can you feel, can you hear, can you understand the money that is going out of my billfold as this truck is pulling into the parking lot here? All right, more to follow. Good morning, guys and girls. Hey, Scott with Heritage Farms, Saturday morning. It's kind of a cold, gloomy morning. It's, I don't know, it's like 40 degrees, but it's cloudy, a little bit of a breeze blowing, so it feels a little colder than what it is. So what's on deck today? Well, a couple of things. One, excited that my daughter and her husband are coming down, so we get to spend some time with them today. So that's fun. And so what are we going to do? Well, at the pecan orchard, we got some trees that need to be replaced. We had 3 trees that didn't make it for various reasons. One, the bull destroyed when we had them in here. Another one just didn't make it because of the freeze. One of them was probably a casualty of the drought. So long story short, we have 3 trees that we need to replace. So we're going to work on that this morning. Yesterday I went to Tyler, Texas, to Harris Nursery. If you guys are in the area, go check them out on Highway 69, 4 miles south of I-20 in Tyler. But great nursery. Go check those guys out. But anyway, I went and picked up some pecan trees, and just like everything else, man, inflation is crazy. Those trees went up substantially from the time I put this orchard in. But hey, what are you going to do? So we're going to plant those trees. What else? We may do a little shooting today. Depends just on what the day brings us. No telling. The main thing is just enjoy the day and take whatever comes our way. So, all right, sit back and follow, and hope you enjoy what's on deck. But right now we're getting ready to feed some cattle. Okay, guys. Well, here we are. I'm doing a voiceover because the wind was so horrible. It was just unbearable. So anyway, it's Saturday morning. It's a cold, miserable day. You can see we're in the pecan orchard. We had a problem at the front of the pecan orchard. We had one tree that died. It always flooded in this area, so it was close to the drainage ditch. This area stayed underwater when it rained. So we came in here, we took 3 buckets of dirt. We built the area up around where the pecan tree was. And hopefully, now that we've replanted it with a new one, it's going to be about 6 to 8 inches higher than the surrounding area. That should be enough to keep the water from standing at the base of this pecan tree, which hopefully will give it a chance to make it. So yeah, the old tree that was here was weak, and it was really fragile. The bull came up here and was rubbing on it and snapped it in half. So now we've replaced it. So this is an Oconee tree. You can see how we actually planted it where the bow or the graft is facing south. That way, when the south wind blows, it'll help the tree straighten out over time. Also gives it a little bit more internal strength so that it will not snap at that graft location. So yeah, it's just a miserable day here, but I think we did a good job on building this up. I think this is going to help the tree overall. You can also see we came up here, we cut it off so that we could drive growth through one of the buds that's already came out on the south side of that tree. So long story short, pretty happy with it. This is one of 3 trees that we have to replace, and feeling pretty good. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but that's 3 buckets on the tractor. And you can see what the rest of these Oconee trees look like. So now we're on to tree number 2. And this one was a little bit different. We had replaced it with a container grown tree that we actually raised. But unfortunately, when I had the cows in here back during the drought, they trampled on it. I thought I had it protected, but shame on me, it wasn't good enough. So, hey, shifting gears, did you guys ever see the movie Caddyshack? Remember the groundhog or the gopher that was in there tearing up the golf course? Well, he's now in Telephone, Texas, and he's popping up everywhere. So I got to do something about that in the near future. Anyway, I digress. You can kind of see here, one of the things we did in this pecan orchard, just so you guys know, you need a variety of trees so that you can cross-pollinate. On the south side of this orchard, we put in 1 row of Kanza, Then we put in 3 rows of Pawnee. And then this particular tree that we're actually replacing right now is a Pawnee, or excuse me, it's a Kanza. So yeah, so Kansas and Pawnees will cross-pollinate one another. And when the wind blows out of the south, you want the pollen to blow and pollinate all of the other pecan trees. So a little bit of science that goes into this. So thank goodness for the Noble Foundation, Texas A&M University, Oklahoma State University. They all helped us with knowledge and information when we put this orchard in. So anyway, so we're replacing this row of Kansas with one. So this tree died, and we're gonna actually come back in here and replace it with another Kanza. So once again, you can see we got the bow where the graft is facing south. We came in here, we cut the tree off where the bud on the south side of the tree, because when the sap starts to flow in the spring, we want everything to come out the top of the tree and go to that bud. That will become the main leader in this tree for future growth. But check out this sky today, man. We're having, boy, you can just see the cold front blowing through North Texas. Just check out what this thing looks like. Just a miserable day. Between the wind and 45-degree temperatures and a little bit of drizzle, it's just blah, 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 blah. But it's the perfect day to plant the tree, get it installed. We're anticipating rain this coming week, so it should help to get these trees settled and established, and hopefully off to the races. So here's the third tree we put in. It's on the very last row of the orchard. This was a row of Pawnee trees. So once again, we have 3 variety of paper shell pecan trees. We have a Coney, Kanza, and Pawnee. That's the 3 varieties we have. We cut it off at the top with the bud facing south, and that will drive the growth of this tree outward. As the south wind blows all summer long, it will help this tree grow nice and strong and straight. And other than that little bamboo post, this tree will really not require any stakes to be had. So pretty amazing how this all works out if you just put a little thought and planning into it. Once again, this was all new to me, so I was following the recommendations of a lot of intelligent people that have been raising pecans for decades. One good news is we got an unlimited amount of dirt. When we cleaned out that pool back during the drought, I have a massive pile of dirt, and I'm finding a million uses for it. Building up this pecan base was just one of them. So all in all, the pecan orchard is basically 10 years old. We're gonna put a lot of effort into it this year, fertilizing, spraying with zinc, insecticide, and really trying to get these trees ready for a hopefully a great harvest coming up in the fall of 23. It's about time that they actually generate a little income. Boy, I'm not used to that. I'm normally only used to expenses. So anyway, I'm pretty pumped. Things are moving along. So we planted 3 trees, and now we're moving on to the next project. So the next project is, luckily I've got my daughter and son-in-law in, and we are working on cleaning up the shooting range. We're trying to get this shooting range in shape, trying to get it where it's a family fun center for us and friends to come and use it. And I'm actually trying out also my homemade grapple or grabber or whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's a thing that we're using to pull trees. It's a chain that's attached to a small piece of beveled pipe. It's like a choker chain. So when you put it around there and you start to pull it, the chain tightens around the base of the tree. The teeth of the pipe digs into the base of the tree, and it doesn't slide up the trunk and allows you to pull the tree out. So we're doing that with a lot of these little saplings. Some of these bigger trees we're actually just cutting down, and we're adding to the pile of dirt and brush behind the shooting range, just so we have a backstop for the bullets. And trust me, there's an unlimited supplies of trees and brush and junk to put behind the shooting range. So that's kind of the goal. You can see here we're cutting down a fairly decent sized cedar. We cut it down, cut it into chunks, and hey, we're making the best of it. But that kind of wraps up this video. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Leave us a comment. Love to hear from you. As always, glory be to God.